We are coming to you from the House of Legislature. We are at one of the members of the Finance Committee's office. His name is Stephen Amoah. He will be reacting briefly to what the President John Dramani, that's the former President John Dramani Mahama, said yesterday. He preferred some solutions that he thinks would help revamp Ghana's ailing economy. But I've been speaking to what was his name, Dr. Stephen Amoah. He thinks that the things, or most of the things he said, were just a rehash of his earlier commentary on how to fix the Ghanaian economy. So, Doc, you're welcome to Metro TV. We are live on Newsbeat.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure having me on your set.
Okay. I would want you to give me your initial reaction to the things that the president, the former president, John Dramani Mahama, said. He spoke for close to over 2 hours. A lot of things that he said. He thinks that the spending at the presidency is too much. He thinks that some infrastructure projects that we are doing, for example, the new Accra International Conference Center that is being built by the government, should be put on hold. If we could, the All African Games that we've been scheduled to host in by next year August, he thinks that if it's not too late, we should pull out, and a host of other things that he said. He's giving some solutions into how to fix the CD depreciation that is happening here. I would want to hear from the horse's own mouth. What do you make of the things he said yesterday?
It's a pleasure having my viewers watching us or listening to us without trying to do politics. Because if I have to do politics, probably we don't have luxury of time to handle because of rushing time resource. The fact is that as a former president and a vice president and a minister, one would have expected something that was so exclusive and specific to the way forward. He never ever said anything new that was economically strategic enough for people or tactical enough for the short term for us to depend on. What did he say? Let's be very honest. Tell me one thing he said that we have never heard. I asked somebody of it and said, he said we shouldn't host the African Game. So that's the economic solution. Tell me any aspect of the economic parameters that this is economic policy. The fact of the matter is that I was expecting our former president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, respectfully, to handle this thing into main folds. One, contextualizing the issue and telling Ghanaians that these are the causes. And going forward, this is where the government got it wrong. And this is my solution. Without accepting and appreciating your problems, there is no way you can solve it. If anybody takes this problem out of long-term, chronic, and ritual problems of the economy, and then situated in a global crisis, that person is not honest. I'm not saying the former president is not honest. Because our economy is fully, not partially, a dependent one. We depend on the global economy. We buy almost look at this room that we are. Yeah. Everything from outside. So the market from which you buy your things, post-COVID, and then the war inflationary rate is 100%. From 1.74 to about 10%. Even now it's 8.8. It's still over 400%. US about 400%. Global, I don't do country to country. Yeah. I do global. Because we talk about industry and firms. But we are talking about UK and those places because we depend on them. We are not comparing ourselves to them.
From where you sit, from where you sit, I'll let you continue, but from where you sit, don't you think that some of the things that he said, and he's not, as you said, most of the things he said were rehash. We've seen some economists and experts speak about it, cutting down the size of government. There has been some, statistics to the number of ministers we have in China, countries like the UK. Don't get cutting down the size of government, sacking Ken Ofori-Atta, and the minority has triggered a vote of censure against the finance minister Ken Ofori-Atta. Yesterday, we heard the Speaker of Parliament say that the reason why we've seen the dollar appreciating is because of what transpired in Parliament. Don't you think cutting down on expenditure, reducing the size of government, sacking Ken Ofori-Atta could be some of the ways, the short-term means into fixing the
right now, if we sack the finance minister, dollar will come to 5 cedis. We are jokers as a country.
Maybe it may not come back to 5. It may not come down to 5 cedis, but it will.
Finance and economy. There's not like maybe. Okay. It's a lazy man's approach. we need to accept the fact that our economy hasn't been strong for over 40 years. We run something called negative effective tax rate country. Monies from government to the households, and the monies government gets from households, the money goes to households are always higher than what we get as revenue. So already, originally, ritually, characteristically, we have problems with the economy. So when there's global crisis, it affects us. Now talking about size of the government, I think with the problems we're having, it's possible we can look at that area, because within the discretionary spending of our budget, we have a lot of cost variables, expenditure variables that we can do what's correlation analysis. So we know that item A, B, C, D, they won't impact our economy. Let's throw them away. And I believe that it could be the size, operations at the ministries and other places. Even if I were the government, if I have my exclusive right to decide, even I'll let all land cruisers bought, fueled. Let me finish. When we are making a point, you know, even the person, how can you?
It's just a follow-up. I'm just saying follow-up. But you can prefer solutions. You are a part of government, even though you say that. No, you are talking about land cruisers, parking land cruisers, which will reduce the cost.
I meant that from your house to the office in Accra here, everybody should use a saloon car. I'm not talking about the MPs because they pay for their land cruisers. But if you are traveling outside Accra, you can use a land cruiser. You understand? To me, all regions should hold their seminars and conferences in their regions. Maybe you don't go to St. Che, but somebody corrected me and said that, I hope you understand what I'm saying. If I had my exclusive right, all ministries and agencies will be moved into 2 towers. We can build 2 towers here. Dubai, 2 years, they build towers on sea, 100 floors. We can do 4 towers each. We'll handle all this vast land to the sea. We can give them for industrial and financial hub. We can generate, I've done simulation, financial analysis on that. We can generate about 7 billion within 5 years. So these are the basic ones. Government can, as a matter of agency, I don't know, maybe it's done, I may not know, meet all the expatriates who repatriate their monies in millions of dollars every month and do something about it. I mean, matter of fact, we should start operating mixed market economy, not absolutely free market economy, where cartel, monopoly, and then oligopoly, they can sell any place. You can do that, because even the developed economies, they do. But we have where there's competition, you allow the market to flow. So we don't operate free market economy. We don't operate controlled market, but mixed. These are all very, very important issues. But the long term there, it's so easy. Why should we import free juice? We should give ourselves 3 years. No agricultural produce or product, whether wood or fruit or tuber suckers, should be imported. We can do that because we didn't